Welcome to our deep dive into the future of business.
Mm.
We're going to be looking at a report called 2025 in Eni Ficuleri, Gelichik Trendler.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and you know what I think is so cool about this report is that it identifies 10 really diverse sectors that are all poised for major growth in the next few years.
Wow.
Everything from AI to space tech.
Yeah.
So are you ready to kind of see what the future holds?
Absolutely. And what's really interesting is how these sectors are all connected to these huge global shifts,
Yeah.
Climate change, the advancing technology, changing demographics even.
Right.
It's just not just isolated trends. It's
Yeah.
about understanding this bigger picture.
I totally agree. It's like a holistic view of the future. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's start with something I think we're all kind of thinking about these days, green energy and sustainability.
Right.
The report predicts a huge surge in demand for clean energy solutions in the coming years. But it's not just about solar panels and wind turbines anymore. We're talking about things like EV charging stations and biomaterials,
Yeah.
which, by the way, are materials that are made from living things.
Oh, interesting.
Think about furniture made from mushrooms.
Huh.
Or packaging that's made from seaweed.
Wow, that's really cool. The shift to biomaterials is fascinating because I think it's driven by both necessity and consumer demand.
Right.
People are looking for sustainable products.
Absolutely.
And companies that adopt these materials early on are definitely going to have a competitive edge.
It's like sustainability is becoming a status symbol, which I think is great.
Yeah, it's a win-win for everyone.
A total win-win. Okay, now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about AI and automation.
Okay.
I know. We hear about AI all the time these days,
Yeah,
but
it's everywhere.
it's everywhere. But this report dives into some really specific applications of AI that are going to change the game for businesses, especially small and medium-sized ones.
Absolutely. And I think one of the key takeaways here is how AI can level the playing field for smaller businesses.
Yeah.
Imagine a small business owner who can suddenly leverage all these AI tools to analyze customer data or to optimize their supply chain.
Right.
These were things that were only available to huge corporations.
Totally. So it's AI isn't just about robots taking over the world. It's about giving everyone access to these really powerful tools. Now, this next sector is one that I find particularly intriguing, health and wellness tech.
Okay.
The report predicts a surge in personalized medicine, telehealth, and mental wellness apps. So we're talking about things like genetic testing that can tailor treatment specifically to you,
Wow.
or wearable health devices that track everything from your heart rate to your sleep patterns.
I think what's really revolutionary about these advancements is a potential to shift healthcare from a reactive model to a proactive one.
Oh, interesting.
Imagine your health data is constantly being analyzed,
Right.
allowing for early detection of issues and personalized interventions.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, are you ready to jump into the metaverse?
Let's do it.
This is where things get really futuristic.
Okay.
The report highlights the potential for virtual worlds, NFTs, and blockchain technology to create entirely new economies.
Right.
And it's not just about gaming anymore. We're talking about virtual events, digital real estate, even managing your assets on the blockchain.
I think one example that really brings this to life is the concept of virtual storefronts in the metaverse.
Yeah.
Imagine owning a shop that's verified on the blockchain, where you can sell digital goods and services.
Wow.
This is the new economy enabled by NFTs, and it's already starting to take shape.
That's mind-blowing. Okay, so now let's talk about something that sounds super complex, but has the potential to revolutionize pretty much everything: quantum computing.
Okay.
So help me out here.
So quantum computers leverage these principles of superposition and entanglement to perform calculations at speeds unimaginable for regular computers. What this means is we'll be able to tackle problems that were previously impossible, like designing life-saving drugs,
Wow.
optimizing these huge logistics networks in real time,
Mhm.
creating unbreakable encryption algorithms.
So while most of us might not understand the intricacies of quantum mechanics,
Right.
we can definitely grasp the huge impact that this technology could have.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Speaking of impact, the report also highlights a sector that's close to home, literally: urban farming and agritech.
Yes.
With cities growing at an unprecedented rate, the need for sustainable food solutions is becoming more and more urgent.
Definitely. And urban farming, especially vertical farming, offers a way to grow food locally using less space and fewer resources.
Yeah.
And by incorporating things like IoT-enabled irrigation systems, you can really optimize water usage and cut down on waste.
This trend is really fascinating because it kind of connects the dots between so many different issues. Population growth, food security, environmental sustainability, technological innovation. It's like this perfect storm of opportunity.
Yeah. And the business opportunities are endless. Imagine supplying like fresh organic produce to local restaurants.
Yeah.
Or providing tech support to urban farmers who are using these new systems.
Right. And what's cool is that this isn't just about feeding people in cities. It's about building these more resilient local food systems.
Exactly. By reducing our reliance on these long, fragile supply chains, we can create a much more stable and sustainable food future.
I totally agree. Now, while we're on the topic of taking care of our communities, let's not forget about a growing demographic that really needs our support: seniors. This report dives into this booming sector of elder care tech, which encompasses everything from home care services and health monitoring devices to social interaction platforms that combat loneliness.
Yeah, and what's really interesting about this sector is the rise of AI-powered robots.
Oh, wow.
These robots can provide companionship, assistance with daily tasks, and even monitor vital signs, which could revolutionize how we care for our aging population.
That's incredible. So it's not just about providing care, it's about promoting dignity, independence, and a higher quality of life for seniors.
Exactly. It's about recognizing their value and contributions and making sure they have the support they need to thrive.
Okay, are you ready for something a little more lighthearted?
Sure.
Let's talk about smart homes and IoT integration.
Okay.
Remember when smart homes were just this futuristic concept in sci-fi movies?
Yeah.
Well,
they're here.
They're here. The report predicts this massive surge in demand for everything from energy-efficient smart devices and security systems to voice assistants and comfort-focused IoT solutions.
All about convenience.
Oh, I can totally relate to this. I recently installed a smart thermostat in my house.
Oh, nice.
And it's been a game changer. I can control the temperature from my phone. I can set schedules. I can even monitor my energy usage.
That's awesome.
It's so convenient.
No.
But from a business perspective, I think the real opportunity lies in providing the expertise to make these smart homes actually work.
Right.
So think about the demand for installation, integration, maintenance services, developing custom smart home solutions.
Yeah, if you're tech savvy
Right.
and you enjoy kind of making things work seamlessly, this could be a great sector to explore.
Absolutely. Now let's just shift gears again and talk about a trend that's really reshaping the way we learn and work. Micro-learning and skills platforms.
Okay.
With the job market constantly evolving, people need to constantly be upskilling and reskilling, and that's where these platforms come in. What's really interesting here is the shift away from traditional long-form education towards this bite-sized, on-demand learning.
Exactly.
Platforms like Coursera and Udemy are already hugely popular, but this report predicts even greater growth, especially with VR and AR being integrated to create these really immersive learning experiences.
Imagine learning a new programming language by stepping into a virtual coding environment.
Oh, wow.
That's next-level learning.
That is next level. And for businesses, the potential for customized corporate training programs is huge.
Absolutely. Companies can really tailor these programs to specific needs, ensuring their workforce stays ahead of the curve. And with remote work and the gig economy, these flexible learning options are just becoming more and more critical.
Absolutely. Okay. Are you ready for our final frontier?
Let's go.
We're blasting off into the world of space tech.
All right.
This is a sector that really captures the imagination, and for good reason. We're no longer just talking about government agencies exploring space. This report highlights the incredible growth of private space companies and the emergence of all these new opportunities in areas like satellite data analysis, space tourism support services, and even asteroid mining.
Asteroid mining.
I know, it sounds crazy, right?
What kind of business opportunities could that create?
Well, it's still early days, but imagine being able to extract valuable resources from asteroids and bring them back to Earth. This could totally revolutionize industries like mining, manufacturing, even energy production. And let's not forget about the potential for developing all these new technologies and materials in the process.
That's incredible. It's amazing to think that even space is becoming a viable business frontier.
It really is. And you know what? This just scratches the surface of what this report covers.
Yeah.
We've got 10 incredible sectors here, each with its own unique set of opportunities and challenges.
A lot to take in.
It is a lot to take in.
But what's really exciting is how these trends are all interconnected. They reflect this larger societal shift towards a future that is more sustainable, technologically advanced, and focused on solving real-world problems.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point. So if you're an entrepreneur or someone who's just curious about the future, this report is definitely worth a deep dive.
For sure.
We'll be back in just a moment to discuss what all of this means for you and how you can prepare for all these exciting changes ahead. We just explored like 10 booming business sectors that are projected for 2025. From green energy to space tech, it's clear the future holds a lot of exciting possibilities. But you know what I thought was really fascinating? It's this like common thread that runs through all of these trends.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, it's the convergence of technology, sustainability, and addressing these pressing societal needs.
I totally agree. It's not just about chasing the next shiny new gadget.
Right.
It's about understanding the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And finding solutions to the challenges facing our world.
Right. So it's not enough to just identify a trend. You have to be able to kind of connect it to a larger purpose.
Absolutely. Whether it's tackling climate change with green energy solutions or using AI to improve healthcare outcomes.
Right.
These business trends are all driven by this desire to create a better future.
It sounds like the real opportunity lies in making a difference.
Yeah, and I think consumers are becoming way more conscious of the impact their choices have, and they want to support businesses that align with their values.
So it's not just about making a profit anymore.
Yeah.
It's about making a positive impact.
Exactly.
So for all those entrepreneurs and aspiring business owners out there, it sounds like purpose-driven businesses are really the future.
I think so.
Okay, so we've talked about all these exciting trends, but, the business landscape is constantly evolving.
Oh, yeah.
What's hot today might be outdated tomorrow. So how can our listeners stay ahead of the curve and actually capitalize on these trends?
Well, first and foremost, I think flexibility is key. Be prepared to adapt to changing market conditions.
Right.
Embrace new technologies and continuously learn new skills.
It's funny because people always say, the only constant is change. And that's so true in the business world.
Especially now. Yeah.
Especially now. Okay, so flexibility is key.
Yeah.
What else?
Another crucial piece of advice is to do your research.
Okay.
Don't just jump into a trend because it sounds cool or exciting. Take the time to really understand the market, identify unmet needs, and develop a solid business plan.
That makes sense. It's kind of like that saying, spend more time sharpening your axe and less time chopping down the tree.
Right. Preparation is key.
Preparation is key. Okay, so flexibility, research, anything else?
Yeah. Last but not least, don't be afraid to take action. The longer you wait on the sidelines, the more likely it is that someone else is going to beat you to the punch.
So it's all about being proactive, informed, and adaptable.
Exactly.
Sounds like a recipe for success no matter what the future holds.
Absolutely. I think these trends provide a valuable roadmap for anyone who's looking to make their mark on the world.
It's like we've given you a sneak peek into the crystal ball.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's up to you to decide how you want to shape your future.
Right.
So of these 10 exciting trends we talked about, what resonated most with you? What sparks your curiosity, your passion, your entrepreneurial spirit?
That's a great question for the listeners to think about.
Yeah, because within each of these trends lies a wealth of possibilities just waiting to be explored.
So what will you create? What impact will you make on the world? The future is yours to shape.
I love that. Go forth and make it happen. So as we're wrapping up our deep dive into the future of business here, let's just take a moment to kind of reflect on everything we've talked about. 10 sectors, each one more fascinating than the last, all kind of pointing towards this future that's shaped by technology, sustainability, and a focus on solving these big problems.
Yeah, the thing that really stood out to me was the sheer diversity of these trends. We talked about everything from harnessing the power of the atom with quantum computing to reaching for the stars with space tech.
Yeah.
It's really a testament to human ingenuity and our drive to push boundaries.
It really is. And I think, it's not just about these specific sectors. It's about the underlying themes these forces that are shaping the world around us. Like the climate crisis demands sustainable solutions.
Absolutely.
The rise of AI is transforming industries, and demographics are creating all these new needs and opportunities.
Like these trends are all pieces of a giant puzzle.
Yeah.
And understanding how they fit together is key to navigating the future.
I totally agree. So, for our listener out there who might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed by all this information, where's a good place to even begin?
Well, I think the best place to start is with yourself.
Okay.
Ask yourself,
Yeah.
what am I passionate about? What problems do I want to solve? What impact do I want to make?
I love that. So it's about finding that sweet spot where your interests and your skills and your values kind of intersect with the needs of the market.
Exactly.
So once you have a clear sense of direction, you can start exploring these specific trends that we talked about in more depth. Read some industry reports, maybe go to a conference, connect with some experts, really immerse yourself in the world you want to be a part of.
Don't wait for the future to come to you. Go out and create it.
I love that.
Yeah.
And, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to this.
Right.
Entrepreneurship is a journey. It's not a destination.
It really is.
So be prepared to kind of experiment, iterate, and learn from your mistakes along the way.
And most importantly, don't be afraid to fail.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Every successful entrepreneur has faced setbacks.
Yeah.
It's how you learn and grow.
Absolutely. Failure is not the opposite of success.
Right.
It's a stepping stone to it.
Exactly. Embrace it.
Embrace it. So I think the big takeaway here is that the future is not predetermined. It's a blank canvas, and it's waiting to be painted by those who are bold enough to dream big and take action.
I love that.
I do too. The world is changing at an unprecedented pace.
Yeah.
And with that change comes a world of opportunity.
Absolutely.
So go forth and make your mark on the world.
Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next visionary entrepreneur. The one who shapes the trends of 2030.
Ooh, I like that.
Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and keep on diving deep.
That's a perfect way to end our deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.